Welcome, my fellow sports nerds, to the Borderless Sports Pod. I'm Locke.
I'm Tom. If you enjoyed this clip, check out the full length on our YouTube and Spotify.
Links are in the description. Ciao. Chiefs Bills reaction. I mean, it just happened, an hour ago?
Yeah, we're like straight on.
Yep. Ben
Jumped in.
perks of living in Sydney. That game for us is 10:30 to 1:30, so we've got all afternoon to think about it and dwell on it and record this to get it out to you guys.
I mean,
what's your first thoughts, initial reactions?
Initial reactions was, it was kind of like, I know why I couldn't pick a side. Like, I felt like it was such a offensive heavy game. Like, both defenses came up clutch in like specific areas and made big impact plays, but I felt like the difference makers were either Patrick Mahomes for the Chiefs or Josh Allen for the Bills.
Yep.
Both of them just played absolutely insane and had their Superman moments. And yeah, wow, I was just loving watching Bills Chiefs. I was so happy we got that matchup. It was, before the 0-3 storyline.
0-4.
And now it's 0-4.
Poor Allen.
Yeah, poor Allen. He hasn't been able to get one yet.
He did his best. I mean, he had a chance, though. You got to give him like 3 minutes left. Had the ball, field goal to tie, touchdown wins. Yeah, and to be fair, that pass to Kincaid was on the money. He should have caught that. That was a miraculous play. Spags brought such an exotic blitz. You heard the commentators talk about it, that that was the first time all game he cooked something like that up in a big spot. And Allen dealt with it and somehow lobbed it up and got it straight to where Kincaid could catch it, and he just dropped it. I mean, if he catches that,
he was on his back foot. It was like leaning, all momentum going backwards.
It looked like just a heave, right? Just trying to get rid of it. But yet it went straight to exactly where you'd want it. I mean, and he's got to catch that. And
it's going to go down.
You make that's like, the crowd is stunned. The Bills sideline's gone bananas. Allen's like, oh my, what can't this guy do? They're probably already in field goal range. They would have been on the line. So you're nearly guaranteed, as long as you don't take a sack.
I think that was on the 30. It would have been on the 30.
So you're basically guaranteed a field goal to tie it up if you don't take a sack. You're marching down, a chance to win. The Chiefs are sitting there going, oh my goodness, is Mahomes going to not touch his ball again and we're going to lose? And that's why football is a game where it tears your heart out. Because for Allen, what more can you do?
I know.
I mean, you could argue don't get down to a fourth down situation there. But at the end of the day, he made the play and his receiver just couldn't catch it. It's not like tennis where if you play great, you're going to win. You can play great and still not win because of the way other people play.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, but going back to the start, for this game for me, Chiefs started off very hot on offense. I mean, the first half, they were unstoppable. The only thing that stopped them was Mahomes, the fumbles, really.
Yeah.
He was lucky. He fumbled earlier in that second or third drive. Can't remember which one it was. Recovered it, or he got the penalty, the offside penalty.
It was a penalty, yeah, that's right.
Was it offside? Was it not? I mean, it was close. Either way, you got to suck it up. And then I thought, wow, that's game changer. Chiefs are going to go down, score, and then they'll take the win right out of the Bills' sails. But no, fumbles later on the handoff. Bills get the ball back and then go down and score. And then it's like, wow, that's game on.
Yeah.
And then another swing was later on when Bills, I think, had the ball with 3 minutes left or 4 minutes left. And they had a 3-and-out and turned the ball over. And then Chiefs went down and scored the touchdown. And knowing that Chiefs got the ball back to start the second half. But again, Bills responded and got the score before the half.
That was massive.
Yeah, Bills just kept finding answers. Just when you thought the Chiefs would extend it that bit too far to make the game out of reach, the Bills would just hang in there and make the plays. Allen with these over-the-top throws just kept getting it done, keeping the Bills alive and kept them in it late. And the second half was back and forth. I think both teams sort of had their moments.
Yeah.
And in the end, it was just the Chiefs' defense came up big with getting Allen to that fourth down situation and Kincaid having the drop.
Yeah. And
the game still wasn't over. I mean, Mahomes still had to get a first down. They ended up getting 2 first downs to seal the deal. The run games, I thought for both teams, actually, the run games were pretty good. I thought, for me, though, I think, speaking of the run game, the biggest key to victory for the Chiefs was the Mahomes running game.
The scramble out to the right or the left.
The scramble to the right he got 2 touchdowns, running touchdowns. Whenever they needed a first down, roll out to the right. I mean, in big games, I was on the Mahomes running over. In big games, Mahomes uses his legs more efficiently than any other QB I've ever seen. Whenever he runs, he gets it. Like, you very rarely see him go for a run and it's the wrong play. When he goes for a run, you can tell it. One, it hurts the defense, and 2, it's always just so effective. He's an absolute killer at that. And then you even heard what's the commentator? Tony Romo on the commentary before the play said, "Watch out, he's going to roll to the right." What does he do? Roll to the right, get a TD.
Romo's
call.
pretty good at those. Like, I love listening to Romo during those calls.
But yeah, I thought Mahomes is running. I mean, I think he outperformed Allen with the running. Allen didn't do many rushes until I think he had a few in the last few drives where he got his legs moving a little bit. But I thought they would have way more rushes for Allen.
Yeah.
But no, it was Mahomes doing the running, and I thought Pacheco and Hunt had a great 1-2 partnership. They were running up the middle. Cook played well. He got 60 yards, I think, rushing, 40 or so receiving, so he played well. So I thought both offenses had a good round game, very similar. It's just Chiefs just were able to get the clutch plays down the end.
Yeah. It was extending. At the start of the game, I was pretty worried for Allen because he started off so shaky. There could have been 2 interceptions in that first drive.
Energetic, like too energetic early, like nerves.
Yeah, so he was throwing it and heaving it. Dropped the snap on that first drive as well. So it wasn't looking good for him. But as the game went on, he just seemed to calm down a little bit more. Confidence grew. Made some key plays. His receivers, Hollins, he had 2 massive...
Yeah. That one grab in the end zone was huge.
Yeah, grabs there to get them in good position and still on the back of the Chiefs. They were chasing them, but went ahead at halftime, right? Did they go ahead at halftime? I
don't know if they were ahead or not. Were they ahead? It was close. I can't remember.
It was close, but they did so well just to stay with them, making those clutch plays. I was just loving watching it. It was just such a good game.
So Chiefs were up 21-16 at the half, and then Bills got the 6 to start the third quarter. They started the third quarter. So they got the Kansas City to have to punt.
Yeah.
And then Bills, but that was the thing as well. Bills couldn't get those two-point conversions. And they tried twice. They couldn't get the 2-point conversions, which, you look at the score, that would have changed things.
Yeah.
And there was a couple of times as well that Allen, they tried the tush push at 4th and 1, and he didn't get it.
The QB draws, there was a few on the fourth
of those
down.
Short-range runs that Allen's usually automatic. I think they said the stat earlier in the year was, I think 30 out of 32 or something on the tush push or the 4th and 1s.
Well, the Ravens stopped it the week prior on the goal line there, remember?
That's right. Yeah, so the Chiefs, to their credit, they stopped it on the 2-point conversion. They stopped on that big 4th down that got the turnover in the 4th quarter. Allen became a little predictable, I think, with that. You saw Romo on the commentary, he said that the Chiefs knew that Allen, when he goes for these QB draw, he typically likes to go to the left. And you could tell the Chiefs were ready for that. So they stacked the box to their right and were able to block him. I mean, a couple of those plays, if they get those, obviously all hindsight, but it could be a completely different game. So again, the Chiefs defense just made some big time clutch plays. I mean, Spags, as we say, I think he's probably one of the best, if not the best defensive coordinator in the game.
Just talks about the experience that they have in these situations. Like, it was just top notch. Like, the way they started offensively with the run pass options and stuff like that.
So well coached.
They either handing it off to Pacheco or Hunt. They were doing really well.
Bills had no answer.
Or he pulls it and he has the quick slant. Like Juju had some good good plays today.
Oh, most of the receivers, apart from Hopkins, he only had 1 reception. But every other receiver, I mean, Kelsey as well only had like 3 receptions, 2 or 3. But all the other guys,
they kept him to under 20 yards. This game, right?
So you'd expect Hopkins and Kelsey, your 2 big weapons. They're the ones who kept the most quiet. But all the other guys, Worthy and Hunt and all these guys, they were getting involved. And as you said, Juju, and it just shows Reed. You can never, whenever you think he's going to do something in a big game, he just does the opposite. Like, he knows what you think they're going to do, and he pivots and just counters it. I think the Chiefs coaching staff, having Reed on offense, you've got Nagy as well there on offense, who's been there, done it as a head coach, and Spags on defense. It's just such a well-run team. You've got a great front office of the Chiefs. You got Mahomes as your leader. You can just tell the way he started that game. You said Allen had the nerves. You didn't see that in Mahomes. He's just laser focused, locked in, wants the win. And when he made that mistake on the fumble, I loved when Mahomes just runs straight off with that angry look in his face, like down. You can just tell he just wants to get right back out there and get it back.
Yeah.
There are some QBs you sit there to see them pouting and like pulling their things off their helmet, just looking real angry on the sidelines. Mahomes, you can just tell it's like, get me back. I want to get this one back right now.
Give me the ball next.
Get me the ball. I'm going to make up for it. Like, it's just, he just has that killer instinct. He has that mentality you can't teach. And you surround him with the Andy Reids. Like, I think if you had Mahomes with a bit more of an emotional coach, I actually don't think it would work as well. And Mahomes would still be Mahomes, but I don't think he would be as good in these close games as he is with Reid. Because I think Reid is like the perfect counterbalance to Mahomes, the way they act and the way they're
the calm,
calm, just always knowing what to do. I just think they mesh so well. They're the perfect tandem. I mean, the records are starting to show for that with what they're doing in the playoffs. 6-7 straight conference finals. The amount of Super Bowls he's got into in his short career. I don't know the stats off the top of my head. I'm sure in the next 2 weeks we're going to hear
all these stats all about it.
Yeah. And I mean, credit to them. They just keep winning. They keep winning. That's like 16 or something in a row of these one-score games. they're so difficult to beat, and for those reasons. So, big picture for the Chiefs to another Super Bowl, going for the three-peat. Big picture for the Bills. I mean, you just got to ask if this is their ceiling. 0-4, Allen against Mahomes. What's going to change?
Are you playing your best football in the wrong era?
Literally. I mean, you hear that with the Jordan era, right? The players that just couldn't get the rings when I forgot them. Again, I'm not caught up in my 90s basketball knowledge, but there are certain players that just could not get the rings who just played in the wrong era. Yeah. Same right now with Allen. Lamar is in that boat. Yeah. Burrow might be in that boat. These QBs, if they play in a different era, they could already have 2-3 Super Bowls themselves. But unfortunately, they're just playing, I said, not just with Mahomes, but they're playing with just a team that has so well run, like the whole franchise. Like, like NFL, when people watch the NFL for the first time who aren't used to watching it, the one thing that takes their breath away is the scale of it. How many people are on the sideline? How many players are involved? Well, they have 50-something players on a sideline? Like, what? Yeah. When you come, especially for out here in Australia, where you're used to 17 players, that's like your whole team and your reserves. That's it. And you have your 4 or 5 coaches. Then you go watch an NFL, there's 100 people on one sideline, 100 people on the other sideline. The point is that NFL franchises, more than any other sports in the world, I would say, needs to have everything buttoned down from the top to the bottom organizationally, from your ownership to your front office, to your coaching staff, to your players, to your support workers. Everyone needs to be on the same page because it's such a big organization. It's like a massive run business. And the teams that do it well, the Eagles and the Chiefs, I don't think it's a surprise that those two are always around the top, consistently fighting for Super Bowls and championships. Yeah. It's because it's not just the team, the players, the coaches, or the front office. It's all the way from the ownership down. You think of the teams that have poor ownerships, the Bears, the Jets, the Commanders before they switched to ownership. Again, think of what happened to the Commanders. Change owners, get a new front office, new coach. Now their whole franchise looked like a turnaround. You think they'd be in this boat if they kept their previous
championship matchup, yeah.
No chance, right? So credit to the Chiefs' entire organization. Obviously, Mahomes will get most of the accolades, and rightfully so, because he's the face, and he's the one having to go out there and make the passes, make the runs and all that.
Yeah.
But, I don't think you can really... I think we've got to appreciate the era we're living in, because this will be just like people talk back about the Patriots in that sort of the noughties.
It's the big four right now.
We'll be 10, 20 years from now, we're looking back just talking about the Chiefs and the Chiefs' dominance, and how I think the narrative will be, when we're old and grey, will be, man, you put Mahomes in a one-score game, he's going to win it. I just think that's going to be what people remember, is he just wins every big game, every close game. He just finds a way to win.
Takes nothing away from the teams that they're versing, though. Like, I feel when you're going to be talking about the Chiefs in this era, you're going to be talking about the Allen and the Bills, those matchups. Like, it's not just about the Chiefs and obviously what they've done, but just the storylines and the matchups with all their AFC opponents. It's just something that's so good to watch right now. Obviously, people that don't like the Chiefs aren't having a good time.
I think most people even don't like them, though, respect what they're doing. I think a lot of people don't like them, as we said last week, that a team that keeps winning, or anyone that keeps winning.
I think it's like a hidden respect.
Yeah, like definitely. There'll be some people that just absolutely hate their guts and think the refs give them all the calls.
That's just sports fans in general.
That's sports fans. And look, at the end of the day, you earn a little bit of grace when you're the undisputed champion. Like, if you watch boxing or the UFC or something, the champ, if you go to the judge's scorecard against the champ, you typically have to be pretty dominant to beat the champ in a judge's decision. I mean, some might say that's unfair, but I think that's just the way sport is. In order to beat the king, you got to knock him out. You know what I mean? I don't think we want the Chiefs and these, John Jones or someone losing to a really razor-thin decision. Gustafson Jones comes to mind. Some people get upset at that and they still say the other guy, the challenger, won. But I think at the end of the day, the champion has got there, and if he can stay at the top, he deserves a little bit of that grace. And I think Mahomes and the Chiefs are in that boat. Everyone, whether you love him or hate him, you're going to watch the Chiefs. And I'd love to see the viewership on this. And as you said, I think there's a quiet respect, even if you deep down want them to lose and you're just rooting for them to lose. Fuck, man. It's like, I think of the Breaking Bad Jesse meme. They just can't keep getting away with this. It's literally what I think about the Chiefs and how people must feel about them. Yeah. I mean, I was on Allen today. I picked the Bills. I don't feel bad about picking them. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone who picked Mahomes will be like, hey, told you so. You don't bet against Mahomes in the playoffs. Yeah. And look, to be fair, you guys...
It would have been the other way if Allen won. You don't bet against Allen.
I know, but you guys were right. I mean, Mahomes in the playoffs, you just I mean, look, if you bet it on Mahomes, you're up so much.
We do have to bring up, because I thought a massive sort of downfall for the Bills was losing their cornerback, that Benford guy, to concussion, because the way the Chiefs attacked the guy that replaced him, it was just like second to none. They adapted to that game plan so
You give
well.
Reed
We
an
spoke about
opening.
those RPOs, but then they just attacked him. He was giving off like an extra 5 yards to the receivers, and they would beat him, catch the ball and beat him off the,
Off the
beat
line,
him off
yeah.
the spin, off the line and stuff like that. So they just, they adapted to the situation so well, and made the big plays count. And
You don't want to give Reed an opening like that because he just takes it straight away.
Yeah.
Like some coaches might take it, might have to get to halftime to sort of, we take advantage of this. No, he's like, next drive.
Yeah.
Well, they lose their corner. Okay, let's go after that. I mean, it's similar. You saw the same thing in the game the week before with the Lions where they lost their corner in the first. I mean, high-level corners are irreplaceable. They are so important in these big games especially because it allows you to play man.
Yeah.
It allows you just to set them on an island, take care of their wide receiver, just don't worry about him. All of a sudden, you lose that high-level guy. As soon as you go to that next tier, it's like unlike nearly any other position, maybe an offensive tackle or something. Once you go from that top tier, even down to the second tier of player, it changes everything because you can no longer just put him on an island and say, hey, you take care of him, you take care of this area. Then you got to suddenly have zone, you got to bring your safety to come over and cover.
Yeah.
Changes your whole defensive
when you got Pat throwing against zone, all he's doing is picking the pocket.
Easy, right?
Yeah.
He just knows what he's doing. And you got Reed and Pat just having the master game plan to beat that. It's just, that's why the Eagles, we'll get into them in a sec, but their corners and safeties are just so good. The Chiefs' corners and safeties, so good. It's just, that's how you win. And that's why I think the number one prospect right now in the whole of college football is the Ohio State cornerback, Caleb Downs. Why? Because front officers in general, even though a lot of the fans don't really appreciate them yet, I think cornerbacks are slowly but surely going to become one of the most sought after positions. The last 5 or 6 years sort of been defensive end. They've got to get a good defensive end. The Micah Parsons, the Garrett, Myles Garrett. These sort of guys, Nick Bosa, they've been the premier defensive players. I think it's going to start switching more to corners, and then that's going to allow you to rush 4 or 5 with a good front line rather than having the Micah Parsons and then a bunch of mediocre players. You get a solid defensive line with star corners. I think that's going to be the game plan. I mean, it helps when you're the Eagles and you also have Jalen Carter up front, right? Or Chris Jones up front, so you have the star player as well. But hey, credit to the Chiefs.
Credit.
They make another Super Bowl and
going for the three-peat.
It's going to be a great game.
Oh, yeah.
It is good seeing them in the Super Bowl again because, it's just going to be so much fanfare.
Oh, yeah.
Look, I would love to see the Bills, see Allen get a chance, but it seems like a sense of just an extra storyline narrative now, right, with the three-peat.
Yeah.
Let them do their thing. So congratulations to making it to the end of the video. If I may be so bold to ask for your like and subscription to the channel, we would very much appreciate it.
Click the link on screen to check out the full ep and our other segments on the channel. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching.
Namaste.